Hi Ruhan.
Hi Manvi, how are you doing?
Welcome.
Hi, Ruhan.
Hi Abhinav, nice to meet you.
Oh hi. Did you know that roles like the head of growth can pay salaries that are over 40 lakhs? Today we have with us Ruhan. He has been a founder for nearly a decade in the edtech space. We are going to put him through a mock interview for the head of growth role, wherein he will demonstrate how you can prepare for these high-paying roles.
This is an interview for the head of growth role for this education startup. The problem is there are a bunch of us and all of these guys are funded.
Okay.
So suddenly the CAC's cost of acquisition of customer has started rising. So much so that in the last 5 months we've seen CAC go up from $50 to $150 per customer.
It's triple.
Like a triple increase. The product is priced around $1,000. That is the AOV, average order value. I mean, this is in line with the competition. How do you see this problem coming in? You're in charge of marketing and sales, the full funnel. So what do you think is happening?
Do you mean to say that this is CAC that you've seen rising across all different channels, across all different customer persona?
Yeah.
Or is it specific to a persona? And
This is the CAC that's going into my balance sheets. So across all channels.
Got it. Understood. So it's not a channel problem. This is mostly driven by competitors. So we will look at 2 to 3 different factors that could lead to this kind of a situation. Factor number 1 would be, is the competitor undercutting you in terms of price point?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Then factor number 2 would be, do you have like a very bad online reputation recently that you have lost because of some bad customer service?
No, we're good.
There is a market sentiment that edtech is a scam.
The category is facing troubles.
is facing a problem, but not
So my
company.
competitors are facing this problem as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, when we have established that it's not a funnel problem and it is more of a, like it is a funnel problem, it is a problem at the end of the funnel. We are getting the same number of leads that we used to generate previously. We were getting 1,000 leads, we're getting 1,000 leads. The conversion rates have dropped from, let's say, 2.5% to something like a 0.8%. That's what we're looking at this point of time, right? So that 0.8% or
My sales team is blaming it on lead quality.
Okay, the sales team usually does that. The sales team will usually be aggressive against the marketing team, but we'll have to look at it more objectively. We'll have to look at 2 to 3 things. If the sales team is blaming the marketing team and is looking at leads being bad, but we would have to look at it in a very multifaceted manner. One would be the product offering in itself. What is the product offering at this point of time? Is the perceived value amongst users good or not? The other would be, is the brand inducing confidence amongst the users? There could be two points in the confidence part. One is confidence in the brand.
Okay.
Second one is confidence, the user having confidence in themselves to be able to utilize the product or service well to eventually get that outcome.
I think that's more of a, I wouldn't attribute that question or that sort of an analysis to solving this crisis at hand.
Okay.
I mean, our offering hasn't changed, the product hasn't changed, and it's not like a tweak to the product will cause recovery of the crisis. So I wouldn't go there.
Confidence and trust issue that we are looking at this
It's a
point of time.
conversion issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want to look at 2 to 3 things. One is the sales team's quality. The second would be because if the sales team is not good enough to convert, then these conversions are not going to come in.
It's the same team that was there 3 months ago.
Okay, great. So it's the same team. In that particular case, it's purely a trust issue. It's purely a confidence issue. We'll have to put in a lot of trust signals for potential customers to convert, right? So that would mean a lot of success story marketing or remarketing that we'd look at in the funnel in itself, right? B, probably also have these parents can probably talk to other parents who've been our customers before, alumni calls and all of those things to get a sense of credibility and trust amongst people. C would be a partnership or an affiliation that would signal trust. Probably partnering with, let's say, a school, officially partnering with a school that would kind of become a channel partner for us. But again, those logos would eventually be used also to drive more and more trust amongst parents who are in the funnel at this point of time. right? And D would probably be get more into consultative sales at this point of time. It looks like push sales is not going to work out. One-on-one consultative kind of sales that would work out. If you provide value to the user even before they have bought something, I think the conversion rates are going to increase as you move forward, right? So these 5 to 6 things will probably solve for confidence.
Sure. So now 2 things. The average order value of the product is $800. What has happened halfway through your implementation is that your competitor, the biggest one probably at this point, has slashed their prices by 50%.
Okay.
And this has led to a significant drop in our new user signups. How would you go about solving this?
We will not reduce our prices, except for like probably 10%. We will not reduce our prices whatsoever because that will just eat away our margins. It's a highly competitive space already at this point of time. The only way this can be solved for is by understanding, the product offering that they have and we have, right? Like we'll list down all the features and we'll see if we are either marketing some of our features badly or wrongly or not marketing them at all, or do we actually have a feature deficit that we want to fill in, by building features, right? Apart from that, we would love to look into, pricing strategies like, for example, something like a decoy pricing that could solve for this. I would have like
decoy pricing?
So I would have like 3 different bands of pricing, and I would mention what all I offer in each band. Let's say the first band is like a basic band, and for a K-12 product, I give access to content which is recorded at, let's say, 30,000 rupees. The second band, I would have somewhere around 50,000, but I would offer, say, for example, live classes in it as well, apart from just recorded video. And the third band would be at 60,000, but I would offer way more value there. I would offer live classes and one-on-one sessions and doubt resolution sessions and whatnot. So decoy pricing would simply mean that I'm trying to push more and more people to buy the 55,000-60,000 rupee product because the one above it is ridiculously priced because it's just 5,000 rupees more. I just need to pay 5,000 rupees more and I will get like a lot more value from what I'm trying to buy. So that's what I would primarily look at.
Okay, let's just say you launched this proposed AI-driven tool and the initial user feedback is very bad.
Bad in the sense like the tool's bad or adoption's bad?
Adoption's bad.
Okay.
And how do you pivot your strategy?
Okay, so that's a little complicated because we are entering into the realms of product management now. But as growth head, obviously, I'll have to look into growth product management as well, right? So this would simply mean that I would have more questions about why it's not being adopted. Do you have any information about it?
Sure. So kids don't know how to ask the AI the right questions.
Okay.
It's not user-friendly enough. They barely know how to ask teachers what their doubts are, and people have to understand them to be able to answer it. And the AI tool can only do so
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So when the sales team is trying to sell the product, have they seen a better conversion rate when they probably like talk about this AI tool? I'm basically trying to ask at the bottom of the funnel or at the mid of the funnel, do we see that the user is perceiving value in the AI tool or not?
Single-digit percentage increase. Less than 10%.
Okay.
Doesn't solve anything for us.
Okay. So this is a value perception problem rather than an adoption problem. But this simply means that we will have to market it better and package it better and show the benefits in a better manner in the middle of the funnel in itself.
Package it better to the parent or the
parent,
user?
The parent.
Okay.
It looks like the parent is the decision maker and the parent also guides the student or the learner.
How do you solve for the mistrust?
We will have to brand. This is like a branding play now that we'll have to get into.
Okay.
The AI has to be branded in a very human and a friendly kind of a manner rather than a tech robot kind of.
Give us an example. Take a minute, give us an example.
Okay. In my previous organization, we did something like this, where we were not dealing with parents, but we were dealing with like 25, 28-year-old people who were very wary about any edtech and upskilling edtech, probably giving them an AI tool for mock interviews.
Sure.
They would not perceive value in it because they'd be like, hey, I'm paying you a lot of money and I want real mock interviewers. The only way we were able to solve for trust deficit there was getting into a branding exercise where we made this AI mock interviewer as human as possible and started giving it characters and names. We called her Emma in this particular case. Kind of the name in itself induces a kind of a sense of comfort or security. It's not like a very clandestine kind of a name. That brought these people to use it a little more. We started creating memes around it, for example, around Emma and how Emma asks questions and how Emma reviews those answers and all of those things. This kind of solved for trust deficit amongst that audience. We will have to do more user research when it comes to parents to understand where the trust deficit is actually coming from. Here we'll have to get more into user research, understand why parents are not ready to use the AI tool. Do they think the AI tool is going to teach them wrong things? Do they think that the AI tool is stupid, for example, or do they think that perceived value is less? Again, it's actually eventually boiling down to a branding problem. This is not a growth problem specifically.
Sure.
We'll have to figure out what value the user is going to perceive within the AI tool when they're going to use it, right? Like, is it through humanization of it, or can we again do a decoy feature there? For example, saying we have human doubt resolution from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. and post that we have Emma or whatever you want to call her, right? So that kind of gives the parent a little bit of a satisfaction that if there are doubts at night.
So it's 24/7 doubt resolution.
Yeah, it's 24/7 doubt resolution, and I package it in, right? So
okay, got it. Cool. But let's move to something more substantial that'll help us.
I would always, if we are solving for a CAC problem, apart from obviously solving for the trust deficit problem within the funnel from the current channels that we have, I would immediately start expanding channels. Okay, for me, my primary motive would be to reduce the trust deficit in the current funnel and create more funnels from alternate channels. In this particular case, probably a low CAC channel, like say for example a YouTube or a social media, if we don't already have that channel. And I would also look into some offline marketing setup, probably like a partnership with a school or a college.
So you've exhausted everything on social media, email, Google, everything there is done, cold calling, cold emailing, you've done everything possible that you could have done via making people sit in your office is done. Partnerships is uncharted.
Got it. In that particular case, I would get.
I want to hear you on that.
I would get into strategic partnerships. The only problem with schools is that the sales cycle is very long. It takes 6 to 8 months to convince the trustees. So we'll have to figure out, how we get into those schools. In the previous organizations that I have worked in, I have done some of these, quote unquote partnerships in colleges and schools, where we usually in schools, especially in the high-end schools, you have clubs, for example, and there's a club president from within the school. It's an influential student. You bring them on board as an ambassador or something like that, and then you get them to be your mouthpiece inside the school while you are parallelly trying to crack the school with principals and vice principals and trustees.
They can be passive champions.
Yes.
Yeah, they can't.
Okay.
They're going to be passive champions till the time we actively are able to crack them.
Perfect. Good luck.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Abhinav.
Thank
you so much, Manvi.
Thank you so much.